Thank you for joining us for our 2026 Black History Month special on 25 News. I'm Chantal Belafonte, your host. For the next 30 minutes, we're showcasing the stories of local heroes in history, education, and the Black community, and their lasting impact and legacies in the neighborhoods we all call home. Let's start off tonight with our Dominique Glay with the story of more than 400 freed slaves that made their way to our very own Marlin.
I'm Dominique Lay reporting in your neighborhood of Marlin. I'm telling you about a journey that 435 freed slaves took by ship from South Carolina to Galveston, Texas. They later found themselves right here in Marlin. And in just a few months, their names will be memorialized on a monument here at the Falls County Courthouse for everyone to see.
I was told that this is the first African American memorial that's going to be placed at the courthouse.
In January 1867, 435 newly emancipated men, women, and children traveled by ship from South Carolina to Galveston, and then from Galveston to Falls County, all in search of a better life in Texas. Those are the families David Anthony Taylor, founder of Black Pearls Genealogy, wants to honor.
It's actually all 435 people's names are on this memorial, on the front and the back. So a lot of people, they may not even know their ancestries, this trip even happened.
Taylor explains it's difficult for people of color, specifically African Americans, to trace their roots because of a lack of record keeping.
Like I said, this is really important because it's so much of people of color's history that's being erased.
A monument is already located in South Carolina to commemorate the beginning of the journey. Taylor hopes the Marlin Monument, set to be unveiled in July, is a door that opens local connections to national history.
What I do is want to make sure that people are aware of their ancestors. Number one, how they got there in how they got to Texas, and they can actually. We want to make sure that other descendants can reach out to people on this memorial.
The city of Marlin tells me this monument will commemorate a significant piece of history, but Taylor isn't calling it history. Instead, he's calling it their story.
Black Pearls Genealogy, we're trying to do our part to make sure that the information is not totally gone.
If you'd like to find out if you have any ancestors on this monument, or if you'd like to learn more about this whole genealogy project, you can reach out to David Anthony directly and find that information on this article on our website. Reporting in Marlin, I'm Dominique Lay.
I'm Allison Hill, your neighborhood reporter in Waco. For generations, families have called East Waco home. Now a community-led project is helping them invest in their future, not move away from it.
In East Waco, history lives on every block.
I lived here all my life in East Waco. I've been in East Waco all my life.
And I've been here my whole life. I love East Waco. I breathe East Waco.
For many families living here, this neighborhood is more than an address. It's a home, and it's been that way for generations. Some say they're proud to see new life moving in, more businesses, more investment, and neighbors coming together.
We have a lot of stuff growing over here, a lot of stuff that they put on Elm Street that we didn't have before, back in the years before. A lot of community just come together and just help one another out.
Projects now looking to revitalize East Waco with affordable housing, small business support, and improvements along Elm Street. But not everyone is convinced growth means progress.
They just pushing all of the black things that are here, they just pushing them further on out the way.
Now a neighborhood trying to honor its past while building its future.
I have seen heroes drive by. They have did a lot of black history stuff on the walls, the drawing on the buildings and stuff is very good. But I mean, East Waco is one of the best communities to me.
Reporting in Waco, I'm Allison Hill.
Honoring history. I'm your neighborhood reporter in Temple, Mariah Williams, and I'll take you to Bell County, where the community came together to honor the contributions of local black trailblazers.
With my story, like I said, I am a black history.
Inspiration was in every corner of the Temple Convention Center on Wednesday, where local leaders and community members gathered to reflect and remember the contributions of Black Americans. Among the speakers was Sanjanette Crossley. She is president of a local nonprofit, Citizens for Progress, and says her parents and siblings were the first African Americans in their workplaces. She calls herself a product of Black history and is using her stories to give a message of encouragement.
So any opportunity to get the mic to inspire people, because everybody is so strategic, just as this moment is, to make a difference, okay? And I don't want anybody to waste any time, because we only have limited time. I want people to see themselves as a fist and not a finger, because a finger points, but a fist can do a lot of damage if we're connected.
While I was speaking with Crossley, she told me above everything else, she hoped people left her speech feeling a sense of self-love, no matter the gender or race. In Temple, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Mariah Williams.
What you are seeing here today is the interior walls here at the STEAM Center, and they are 8 historical cultural walls that represents essentially the community and some of the pioneers of the different STEAM acronyms, so that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Vincent Thomas and Tanea Thomas, not related by blood but connected through their art, are the artists behind the 8 large-scale interior murals at the Bledsoe Miller STEAM Center in East Waco.
Even beyond learning, I want them to feel proud, and I want them to see themselves in it. I want them to feel like their culture has been represented, and that when they walk in this building, it's not an abstract place. Like, this is something that's familiar.
Each panel spotlights innovators and leaders with deep roots in our community, men and women whose ideas and courage help shape history. Among them, Doris Miller and Vivian Malone Mays, 2 prominent figures with strong ties to Waco.
Honestly, so honored to even be able to highlight them in those different ways.
It was fun because people were already taking pictures.
For both artists, the project is a point of pride made even more meaningful as it's celebrated during Black History Month. Every detail adds meaning to the mural.
When we were doing that work, it's like I felt them. I felt that presence, when we're trying to get the hairs right and just get these small details. It's because we care and we have that deep ancestral connection to where it's anyone else doing this job, I don't know if they would feel that the way we felt it.
During the month, they're reflecting on the legacy of those who came before them and the responsibility of telling those stories with care while inspiring the next generation of Black artists in our community.
Our life matters, our history matters. A lot of my work really touches on history. Black history is my history. It's my story to tell. It's a part of me and it's part of my ancestors.
I'm your neighborhood reporter, Alexa Conroy. Here in our community and across Texas, rodeo is king. But whether that's here or elsewhere around the state, one man is credited with helping blaze a trail for African Americans. His name is Bill Pickett. What does it mean to you to attend the Bill Pickett Rodeo?
Everything.
For young cowboy Kaysen, that one word says it all. The Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo carries deep meaning, starting here in Central Texas. Bill Pickett was born in 1870 in Williamson County, one of 13 children. Cowboy was in his blood and began his legacy at local fairs, roping, riding, and working livestock. But he didn't just compete, he created. Pickett invented the rodeo event known as bulldogging, or steer wrestling. Leaping from horseback and wrestling a steer to the ground became one of the rodeo's most iconic events. Black cowboys were limited, and Pickett broke barriers nationwide, performing with the 101 Ranch Wild West show and eventually becoming one of the first Black inductees into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Today, his legacy lives on.
Black cowboys, cowgirls all over the United States, but they just didn't have an opportunity to rodeo in the larger rodeos. So he said, I'm going to create an African American Rodeo Association and create opportunities for them to rodeo in larger venues.
The Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo was founded to provide visibility, access, and opportunity.
And he put his little hands on his hips, and he started shaking his head, and he said, I don't believe this. I just can't believe this. there really are Black cowboys, and they are real. And it was a moment in time for me because tears just start coming down my face.
Moments like that are why riders like Terrius Wood kept coming back.
Really, I just love the adrenaline, how everybody gets together, everybody have fun. I like doing it for little kids because when I was a little kid, I wanted to be like a cowboy watching everybody rodeo, and now here I am today.
The rodeo's impact goes beyond the arena. It also creates space for Black-owned businesses to grow.
It's an honor to be out here. This is my first time being a sponsor and a vendor. Able to have this opportunity and get my business name out there, it's a pretty great opportunity. It means a lot.
For Cunningham, they're only getting started.
By doing this rodeo, letting our kids know that Black cowboys and cowgirls are for real, and teach them about the history of Black cowboys and cowgirls, we have met the mission that Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo was started on.
The Bill Pickett Rodeo celebrated its 41st anniversary this year and will be headed back to Fort Worth May 16th. Reporting your neighborhood, Alexa Conroy.
Don't go anywhere. We've got more stories straight ahead celebrating our communities and Black history. Thanks for staying with us as we continue our Black History Month special. As part of Black History Month, we're taking a look at the Black fraternities and sororities, the Divine Nine, the impact they have on the Black culture, and the difference they're making in Waco.
My favorite things about being a Sigma is just being out in the community, the brotherhood, and just uplifting others.
Daquan King is a part of the Divine Nine. His fraternity is Phi Beta Sigma. He crossed in 2022 and never looked back. He says being a part of a Black fraternity is special.
You know, it's a bond that, like you said, cannot be broken. It's a commitment. And then you paving that path for, those behind you.
King tells me the Sigma's core focus is culture for service and service for humanity. But their presence in Waco can be seen through community service, mentorship, impact on community improvement, and more. The Divine Nine, King says, goes deeper into brotherhood and sisterhood. He says his frat brothers lifted him up during one of his toughest times in his life, when he lost his sibling. He says he pushed through because of their love.
That togetherness, that brotherhood, being there, just having someone to talk to. They were always there. They called and checked up on me, text me. And, that's just a part of being in that fraternity and having that bond.
King says he was raised by his mother and father, who both have a heart of service. He believes the Divine Nine's influence in Waco is needed for the Black community.
They have someone to look up to. You see things on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, but being able to see that face forward, I believe that it may be inspiring to them.
King tells me during Black History Month and beyond, sororities and fraternities represent two things: excellence and strength. The first Black fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, was founded in 1906, and the first Black sorority, my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, was founded in 1908. And we'll have more stories celebrating Black history in our neighborhoods right after the break.
I'm Ezekiel Ramirez, your neighborhood reporter in Franklin. I'm standing where U.S. Morgan High School once stood, one of the 3 African-American schools that served this community during segregation. For years, much of its history faded from view, but now one neighbor is working to make sure its legacy lives on. We're sharing this story as part of Black History Month.
You can't erase history. You can erase it, but it'll never go away.
U.S. Morgan High School opened in 1950 as one of the 3 African-American schools serving Franklin during segregation.
It opened up in 1950, integrated in 1965, and it was demolished they had the last class in 1966, and later on it was torn down.
Now only the old gym still stands and serving as storage on South Calvert Street.
I ended up hearing that they tore it down, which I hated that, and everything else went with it.
That loss inspired Mary Stevens to push for a historical marker to honor the school's legacy.
This marker is going to help remember a school that was forgotten, the lives that it impacted, and it's going to maintain the legacy for the future.
For Stevens, this isn't just history, it's personal.
My mom graduated from U.S. Morgan. My brother graduated from U.S. Morgan. My mother's passed on since, and I hope that I hope she's proud of me.
Former students like May Parrobest still remember the classrooms and the community inside them.
We had some real good teachers, and I remember the building where I used to sit and all that, and in one big white building, we had all the classrooms.
How important do you think it is for us to keep that history alive, especially those types of moments?
This is the only thing that in Franklin that we have really that's left.
No history should be forgotten, swept under the rug.
Now a historical marker will stand where the school once did, making sure its story lives on for the next generation.
I hope that they'll come here and can see the marker and know that, hey, it's not forgotten.
Stevens tells me the historical marker should arrive and be installed within the next year. Reporting in Franklin, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Ezekiel Ramirez.
I'm Kenny Graves, your Navasota neighborhood reporter. I'm at the George Washington Carver School, a historic black school that still remains a big part of our community today. We celebrate it as part of Black History Month.
The Alumni Association takes care of this school. They do the best they can, because they don't have any real deep pockets, but they've got a lot of love for the school.
G.W. Carver graduated its last class in 1969, but even today, parts of the building are still used by a church and will be an election polling location on March 3rd. It's one of the reasons my town is so special.
Navasota is a unique town. It's where that everybody, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and when there's a need, everyone come together and unite together.
But there is a real love for this school here, G.W. Carter, George Washington Carver, by this community of people that went to school here. There's just a great amount of love for this school.
Neighbors understand the significance of the Carver School.
It's just history, and it's a strong foundation that we can build ourselves on today. And I'm just happy for our history. I mean, we've had some challenges just because of our race, and but those challenges have not kept us down. We've been moving forward, and we're going to continue to move forward.
The school has a historical marker, and I'm told there is a small museum inside. The Alumni Association is currently making plans to do some restoration work.
And so it's really exciting for a small county like Grimes County to have this much history in terms of schools that were maybe not originally, but historically known as black schools.
The Carver School Founders Day event will be held April 18th. To find out more, go to my story on our website. In Navasota, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Kenny Graves.
Being black in Corpus Christi. I'm Jada Jenkins, and we'll hear how some residents still feel underrepresented and how some local families are working to keep their history alive.
As we continue to celebrate Black History Month across the Lone Star State, let's send it to Scripps News Group's Jada Jenkins, who caught up with neighbors about the Black experience in Corpus Christi and what it looks like today.
How does it feel being Black in Corpus Christi?
I sat down with Desiree G., the creator of Black Corpus Christi Facebook page. She tells me she moved from New York to Corpus Christi when she joined the Navy. She says coming from a diverse city was a major culture shock.
Not having Black spaces to be able to go to.
Little things, she says, she took for granted.
I realized that I was very lonely.
She says she may see 3 or 4 Black people a week and make sure no one else feels as lonely as she does.
I'm like, oh my God, when'd you get here? Hello. And I'll go introduce myself to people all the time.
I made a post in the Facebook group asking other neighbors about their experiences. I got comments like they feel misunderstood and underrepresented. And many even shared pictures of their family and friends with me. Over 3,000 people in the community joined the page over the past few years.
I definitely didn't think it was going to pop off as much as it has.
I asked her what her response is to critics of the group. She tells me in a time of political uncertainty, she feels it's necessary to have a safe space.
People in the group are being open and honest about it, about how that looks for us in Black spaces, in Corpus, out of Corpus, everywhere.
Over on the west side, Micah Kane walked me through the Black history section of her home. Her family is filled with Black pioneers in the city. We reported about her grandmother and uncle being the first to create Juneteenth celebrations in the city decades ago. She says feeling like an other in her own city is sometimes hurtful.
It was really hard navigating my identity.
But she tells me despite the struggles, she wouldn't want to be anything else.
I am who I am. We are who we are. And we love that. I love me. I love being Black.
Showing that this small community has a big history and an even bigger sense of pride.
Thanks for joining us for our Black History Month special. You can find more stories of Black history in your neighborhood on our website, KXXV.com. I'm Chantal Belafonte. Have a great evening.